Welcome, kids, to Reading with Joan. We're glad to be here once again, and we want you to just relax, sit down, take a snack, take a drink, and have fun with us this Friday afternoon. We've been having fun reading two books, and with me today, once again, to read is
Jemima.
and
Jedidah.
Jedidah. Can you remind us of the book you're reading today?
Wartman.
Wartman, and she's going to continue about Wartman. And Jeremy, what book are you reading?
Science Geek Sam and his Secret Logbook.
That's a very long book. What page are you now?
43.
Page 43. We are doing so well. So good. And kids, I want you to sit back, enjoy as Jedidah continues from page 12 from her reading. Hey, come on, Jed.
Am I reading page 43? No, I'm not. You're right. Page 33.
Oh, she's reading page 33. Okay, come on, Jed.
I was bending over it.
Continue.
I was bending over
Anxiously
inspecting my knee as I often did. What if it doesn't, Mom? I asked. Doesn't what, dear? Doesn't go away. It will, Dilly. They always do in the end. Just forget about it. Jim started again upstairs. She's got a wart, Dilly, Dilly, who's got a wart. And Mum went up to sort him out. After that, I tried all I could not to touch it, not to think about it. It still didn't go away. And worse, I could see it is definitely getting bigger and bigger.
Oh dear.
No matter how I looked at it, my pimple was not a pimple anymore. It was a wart, and it was growing harder and whiter and more knobbly every day. Sooner or later, I knew someone was going to notice at school. Probably that Penny Prosser, knowing that look, I couldn't let that happen. So here's what I did. I bought a large packet of Ellen Platt with my own pocket money too. Cover it up, I thought, and no one would see it. And you never know, Mom might be right after all. It might just go away, but it didn't.
That is him covering the leg with a big plaster, making sure it doesn't show. So, okay, come on. Chapter 3.
And the sewing.
Yeah,
it was summer, and I was in short. I asked, and I asked, but Mom wouldn't let me wear my jeans.
Okay.
Let your legs breathe a bit, she said. Legs don't breathe, I said. She wouldn't listen. So each day after I left the house for school, I dart into the alleyway opposite the house, hide behind a tree, whip out a plaster and cover up my warts. Every afternoon, on the way back from school, I stopped there and take it off just before I got home. Every time, just before I ripped it off, I felt hard that my wart would be gone, squeezing my eyes tight. But when I opened my eyes, it was still there.
Bigger and harder and nobbier than ever.
Still, at least the trick had worked. At school, no one knew about my work. Not yet, anyway. At home, things were not good. Jim kept on and on and on about my wart, never letting me forget it. He invented a new name for me. Well, one day.
What's the new name?
Well, he said one day, and how's Wartman today? Hey, Wartman, you could be in the movies. I can see you now. Up in lights, down at the cinema. Dilly the Wartman, nubbly enough and nasty enough to frighten even an alien to death. I had to do something, didn't I? I threw the dog bull. Jim ducked and the bull sailed over his head. Out through the kitchen door and into the sitting room. The next morning, Dad came storming in. Mum right behind him. Who threw that? He said. He was not all pleased, and neither was Mum. Jim shrugged his shoulders and grinned innocently.
Not me,
he said. I could have kicked him. Billy, said Mum. What's come over you? What was the matter with you? He called me Wartman, Mum. He keeps on at me. Sticks and stones may break my bones, Dilly, Dad says, but names will never hurt me. Silly Dilly Wartman. What does it matter? He calls you. What's the difference? But there was a difference. Mum knew there was too, but she didn't say anything. From then on, it was downhill for me all the way, with Jim enjoying every shove.
Okay, Jed, great reading. Give me 5. So, can you tell us a question you have about what you read today?
What did Jim call Dilly?
What name did Jim called Dilly? If you have the answer, kindly tell us so you win the prize. What name did Jim call Dilly? And Jed, did you learn anything from today's? What did you learn?
You shouldn't call people's names. You shouldn't call people names.
You shouldn't call people names. Sometimes it's so unfair and it makes people throw dog plates at you. It makes people upset. Like, Dilly, please, children, let's try and be polite, accommodating, respectful to other people. Don't call other people names because it hurts. It actually makes a difference. It makes a difference to the way they feel about themselves. So as you go back to school, as you begin to play with your friends, don't join any group of people calling each other names because it's not nice at all. And remember, I used to tell my girls, hurt people hurt others. So people that actually call people names are hurting themselves. So it's good for us to show a bit of kindness and love to each other. And so, what's you pointing at me?
No, Jerry's only 40 pencils.
Oh my goodness! Oh! I did say that. Okay, who is playing today? Jed, you're playing today? Okay, Jed is going to play our little musical interlude today. And what are you playing?
It's called Perpetual Motion.
So it is Lightning Roll.
Oh, yeah, Lightning Roll.
I got you. Yeah, come on. Yeah, come on, play. That was incredible. Well done, Debbie. Yes, oh, Jed. Oh, what is wrong today? Mom is getting everything messed up. Anyway, Jed, they all confuse me. So sometimes I call her Jed, I call her Jamie, I call her. Then I start calling them Little J, Small J, Little J, Small. Oh, no, Little J, Big J. Anyway, Jamie, it's your turn. Come on. Let's read on.
Friday mornings.
Yeah.
Yes, Uncle Jack is coming to our class today. That means we don't have PE. I hate PE and especially the climbing wall because I don't have enough strength in my arm muscles. And today is the day when we're supposed to do the climbing wall for our assessment. Bah. No! Uncle Jack misread my email. He didn't turn up first thing this morning. So we did have PE and had to go on the climbing wall after all. Mr. Nolan watched us from below, taking notes. Once you've got to the top and you've touched the ceiling, come back down and return to the changing rooms, he called out. Luke came down at top speed. How are you getting on? He asked me. I rubbed my hands together. Fine, thanks. I'm just warming up first. He sniggered. I bet you a bag of sweets, but you won't even get halfway up the wall. Mr. Nolan clapped his hands. Come on, come on. We haven't got all day. Yeah, come on, you geek, Tom said. Just get up there. Ah! A loud scream came from the girls' changing rooms. Help! Shrieked Kirsty. Sir, please come. It's the biggest spider ever. Mr. Nolan ran to the changing rooms, and Tom and Luke followed. Quick, Archie shouted. Get onto my shoulders. Archie held out his hands so I could step onto them, which was quite tricky, and then climb onto his shoulders. I grabbed the climbing wall and nearly slipped off. Quick, get your feet onto the wall, cried Archie. I can't hold you. I got myself onto the wall and looked down. It was a really long way up, but the ceiling was even further away. I looked up and stabilized myself. Mr. Nolan came back in, and I slowly moved down. My head was throbbing. What was that, sir? Archie asked. Mr. Nolan shrugged. Oh, just a little spider. He looked at me and took some notes. Get yourself changed now. When we were doing geography after playtime, there was a knock on the door. My head shot up. Was that? Mr. Nolan opened the door. Yes, it was him, my Uncle Jack. He came into the classroom with a hold doll and basketball in his arms. Who is that? Luke asked. This is Professor Jack Scott McNeil, Mr. Nolan said. Wow, Martin said. Jack Scott from High School Musical. He's on TV. Not that Jack Scott, I said. Professor Jack Scott. He's a scientist, not a singer. Professor Jack Scott is Sam's uncle, and he's come for the People Library, Mr. Nolan said. So do you do experiments with explosives? Matteo asked. I once did the one with the mint in a bottle of cola, and then you look more like a basketball player, said Mehmet. I thought all scientists wore white lab coats, said Esther, and had glasses and a moustache. Oh yes, and they have crazy hair, shouted Matteo. Wavy white hair, I mean, just over the ears and bald on top. Uncle Jack laughed and put his basketball on Mr. Nolan's desk. Sorry to be such a disappointment, guys, but I've gone straight from a match. That's why I don't look like a scientist. So, Professor Jack Scott Mr. Nolan continued. Please, just call me Jack, Uncle Jack tripped him. All right, Professor Jack is an astronomer. He's going to tell us all about meteorites. Anna stared at Uncle Jack, with her elbows on her desk, cupping her arms around her chin. Are you married? She asked.
Oh, dear, dear, dear.
No, replied Uncle Jack. Anna smiled. My mum isn't either.
Oh, dear.
Uncle Jack cleared his throat. Right, he said. So today, we're going to talk about the meteorite that landed on your bike and scooter shed. Yes, said Archie in a huff. My handlebars are completely crooked. And my bell was ripped off, Matteo added. My light is all messed up. Your light never worked, Richie said. Well, of course, that's all very inconvenient, said Uncle Jack. But at least we can be grateful that it wasn't as big as the meteorite that hit Russia, because I coughed and tried to attract Uncle Jack's attention. Fine, I said, and gestured at Uncle Jack to come over. I whispered, You have to be careful. Lawrence was really traumatized by the whole thing. Aha, Uncle Jack whispered, and quickly changed the subject. Let's talk about the universe, he said cheerfully. When the universe came into being, it was tiny, he started. Even smaller than a speck of dust that you might see drifting in the sunlight. Millions of times smaller than a speck of dust. Could you grab it? Archie asked. He was scribbling down everything Uncle Jack was saying. The universe? Uncle Jack shook his head. No, it was far too hot. The tiny universe was hotter than 1,000 suns put together. And it was heavy, heavier than an elephant, heavier than a house. As heavy as the world? Christy asked. Uncle Jack laughed. Much heavier. That one tiny speck of dust was as heavy as all the stars and planets together. No way, Mateo called out. That is super mega heavy. And then Uncle Jack continued. This tiny speck of dust exploded with the biggest explosion ever, the Big Bang. The teeny weeny baby universe erupted and transformed within a fraction of a second into a gigantic space even bigger than the Milky Way. Our universe had been born. Time had started. Space had started. And when was this? Inquired Archie. He was about to write down the answer. About 14 billion years ago, Uncle Jack answered. Tom and Luke stared at each other. Said Tom. That's impossible. How do you know? Luke chipped in. Were you there watching? They're so rude, these guys, especially when they're talking to a guest, who happens to be my uncle and a professor. But Uncle Jack didn't mind the rudeness. He was passionate. Yes, isn't that incredible? The universe is just like a video you can rewind. Hang on, let me show you. He fished around in his pocket. Where is it? He muttered. I'm sure I brought it. Have you lost something? Asked Christy. A balloon, Uncle Jack replied. A balloon? Tom and Luke grinned at each other. I started to feel nervous, slightly nervous. Uncle Jack looked so worried and distracted. Maybe he had been hit with a basketball during his match. Where is it? Uncle Jack rummaged through all his pockets and then, aha! Out of his back pocket, he pulled a blue balloon. He blew it up a little, took a felt-tip pen and marked it with dots. These are the stars, he said. And what happens, do you think, if I keep blowing up the balloon? Don't you know that yourself? Tom remarked.
Wait. That was the balloon, and that was the star he drew on the balloon. Kids, if you can see it, that's the balloon and the stars he drew on it. So, sorry about that.
Mr. Nolan cleared his throat and gave Tom a telling look. Well, I mean, it's obvious. It will burst, Tom said. Uncle Jack started to grow. The balloon grew bigger and bigger. The stars are moving apart, Florence shouted. Uncle Jack stopped blowing and tied a knot in the balloon. Spot on, he said. The stars that were close together a minute ago are now further apart. And that is exactly what is happening in our universe. Galaxies are moving away from each other. The universe is getting bigger and bigger all the time, and we can measure exactly at what speed it is expanding. This is useful because it enables us to calculate back to when it all started, the one tiny speck, basically by rewinding the sequence. The Big Bang, Uncle Jack nodded. The Big Bang, Archie said. Uncle Jack nodded. Indeed, the Big Bang. What? Anna called out. The Big Bang is a fairy tale, made up by people who don't believe in God. Actually, no, that's not the case, Uncle Jack replied. And he began to describe how, in the beginning, Earth was a big mess with bits of rock crashing into it. A mega collision split the Earth in two. One part of the Earth became our moon. Florence stared out of the window, looking increasingly worried. About 65 million years ago, Uncle Jack continued, a rock that was nearly 10 kilometers wide fell onto the Earth. 10 kilometers, Mateo explained. That's a 2-hour walk. And that's when dinosaurs became extinct. Florence raised her hand. She looked pale. Mr. Nolan, I'm not feeling very well.
Okay, Jamie. Somebody wasn't feeling well. Me too. I'm not feeling very well. Are you feeling well?
Yes.
Okay, all right, come on. Kids, that is the end of our reading today. Jamie, what is your question?
My question is, what was Mr. Nolan's class supposed to be doing for their assessment in PE?
That's a tricky one. Okay, kids, what was Mr. Nolan's class was supposed to? What were they supposed to be doing for assessment during PE? If you know the answer, kindly tell us as soon as possible so you win the prize. Girls, who won the prize for yesterday? Can you remember?
Was it Chimdi and
Chimdi and Ada won the prize again yesterday. These girls are just trying everything. You see, they're just getting everything. So, what was the prize they got, Jamie? Jen, what was the question? Yesterday's question?
It was the first one. Who got sent out of the room for being rude?
Yeah, who got sent out of the room for being rude?
And the answer is
Jim. Jamie, what was your question?
My question was, what was Matteo's mum's job?
Matteo's mom's job was a poo-poo cleaner.
Cleaner?
Yeah, she works in the hospital, cleaning poo.
Not cleaning poo.
testing
poo.
Testing poo. So girls and boys, we thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you tomorrow. Once you give us the answer, you be the flying winner. So we're collating the winners, and then we will send out the prize once the lockdown is over. You are so bright. You're so brilliant, kids. Thank you for joining us. And once again, kids, you can read your own stories. You can share your time with us. All we need to do is to pop the screen to 2, and then we can see you read for us. Tell us if you want to join us next time. I'll be glad to read with you. Until tomorrow, we'll see you on Reading with Joan. Have a good afternoon and have a lovely evening. Bye, kids. Bye, parents. Bye.
Go, go, go.